This episode is brought to you by the Appleton Podcast Co-op. Enjoy the news. You're listening to What the Fox Says, bite-sized news for the Fox Valley area of Wisconsin. I'm David Kelso, your host for the week of March 28th, 2022. Articles today include midterm voting prep, Afghan refugees arriving in the Valley, Appleton School District referendum, and much more. It's that time of year again. We get to roll out of our beds and test the mustard of this grand experiment we call America. The midterm election is just around the corner, next Tuesday, April 5th. Head on over to myvote.wi.gov to see who's on the ballot in your neck of the woods. I live in Grand Chute, so we've got some unopposed county positions, a duel for town supervisor number 2 and number 4, and then Appleton School District board members, of which there are quite a few up for election. I'll have to do some more research, but thanks to this website, we got a good place to start. You can get absentee voting information, where you're going to vote, and all that other jazz on that website, so be sure to check it out. And now some more general voting news. From Local 5 Green Bay and the Associated Press, the big kahuna of courts, that is the Supreme Court, discarded legislative redistricting maps presented by Governor Evers earlier this month. This process happens every 10 years as a result of population changes, but at the state level, Republicans and Democrats could not agree, thus asking the Supreme Court to decide for them. The Supreme Court basically said, you figure this one out for yourself, which will probably result in Republicans keeping their majority lead in the state Senate and Assembly. From the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, reported by Patrick Marley, those with disabilities say a new Wisconsin Supreme Court order infringes on their right to vote. Back in February, they voted 4-3 for a judge's decision that says voters cannot give their absentee ballots to someone else to mail or hand over to election clerks for them. The main quote and story actually comes from a Grand Chute resident, Timothy Carey. He has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which prevents use of his arms and legs, which makes it extremely challenging to actually put mail in the mailbox or actually go to the clerk's office. I watched the video interview with Timothy, and he actually uses his tongue to operate his computer and to do work. I understand Republicans' desire to tighten voting, but we really got to be able to make some exceptions for some people, like Timothy. From the Appleton Post Crescent, reported by Kelly Arseneau, 180 Afghan evacuees. From the Appleton Post Crescent, reported by Kelly Arseneau, 180 Afghan evacuees have moved into new homes here in the Fox Valley after being uprooted by the Taliban 6 months ago. World Relief Fox Valley is the organization that has been helping the refugees find places to stay. Now that the housing is settled, the next step is helping them become more self-sufficient, enrolling kids in school, teaching parents English, and the other basics like navigating public transport and opening bank accounts. Thankfully, the families are getting help from organizations like Even Start Family Literacy and the public transport company Valley Transit itself. It's a bit of a scroll in the article, but you can read Ali Fakari's story of immigration about halfway through. From the Appleton Post Crescent, reported by Anne-Marie Hilton, school district referendum aims to add another elementary school, reduce class sizes, and add dedicated STEM areas and about 12 STEM teachers. That's science, technology, engineering, and math for those that hate acronyms. Looks like a survey for voicing opinions will be coming out for the referendum in the next couple of weeks. From the Oshkosh Herald, reported by Caitlin Scoville, a new homeowner program will help those under county poverty median in certain home types with overdue payments. Wisconsin Help for Homeowners is a federally funded program pouring $92 million into the state to help keep families in their home. For more information, you can visit advocap.org or call 920-922-7760. From Local 5 Green Bay, reported by Paul Steno, Amtrak might be coming to Northeast Wisconsin. That's a train that would connect Appleton, Green Bay, and Milwaukee. Not anytime soon, probably, but as someone who has been to Europe and enjoyed a quality train system, consider me on board. Last week, we covered that the healthcare shortage was due in part to mental health issues. Well, this week, from the Associated Press, Governor Evers signed a bill that makes threatening a healthcare worker a felony. I don't know what constitutes a threat in the eyes of the law, but sheesh, I'd like to avoid 6 years in prison. So let's be kind to each other. From the March 23rd Oshkosh Herald, reported by Steve Clark, the Winnebago County Board of Supervisors passed a resolution that encourages Oshkosh Corp. to keep jobs for the new U.S. Postal Service vehicles. The board cited the growth of Mercury Marine after deciding to keep the plant in Wisco. This comes in light of the union rise we covered a few weeks ago. I find it fun that in the same issue, Oshkosh Corp. is recognized as one of the world's most ethical companies. All I'm going to say is balls in your court now, Oshkosh Corp. All right, I know we're going a little long, but we'll move on to our grab bag. I think we're going to change the title, though, to Fast Talk News. Got to come up with something better than the grab bag. That's so archaic. Anyways, here's the news. Architect says the new Appleton library will be beautiful, high-performing, functional, and durable. Basically, they've got 10 pictures that you can look at now. The Oshkosh Go Transit Center is up for renovation starting within the next couple of weeks. There's a group in Neenah of neighbors that's just cleaning up the area because they can, doing a little spring cleaning. Otis Day with WIXX is leaving after 24 years. He's a great guy. Met him when I did my internship there. The Wolf River now has a slow no-wake order as the water levels rise. The Oshkosh Area Humane Society director is retiring after 30 years. The Outagamie County is going to resume siren testing on Saturdays at noon, so if you hear more horns, that's what that is. Ice shoves on Lake Winnebago actually broke people's houses, so big that you could drive a truck through it. And Holy Festival was this week, so you can check out that article if you'd love to see some pictures of the Hindu celebration. This has been What the Fox Says, a production of the Appleton Podcast Co-op. For further reading, all the sauce, as they say, is linked in the show notes. If you have a news story or community event you think we should read, follow the Appleton Podcast Co-op on Facebook and send us a message. We've got a huge announcement coming this week, so you should go like the page even if you don't have a story to share with us. I'm David Kelso. I also host APC Presents, a show where I interview other local podcasters about their unique podcasts. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week.